That blew me fucking head off. That.
What's
Right,
that?
okay.
I can't hear anything. It's all gone really quiet all of a sudden.
I put the headphones on, and I thought, I'll leave the headphones on, and all of a sudden it's like that music, boom, straight through. I was like, fucking hell, man. Big up to everybody. As always, I'm the long-eared Yeti, and got a special guest with me in the cave. Game review for against Manchester United, and this is up Fuzz 44. How you doing, matey?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's back to life, back to reality.
Yeah.
And well, I suppose we were asking the question: are we getting a dose of reality tonight, or have we really truly turned a corner, coming off the tail end going into the international break?
Yeah.
2 wins in a row, first time consecutive wins in the season for Man United, apparently. So yeah, that's we're record breaking at the moment. Record breaking form, but yeah, I suppose if it is something in the water for United, that hopefully tonight we show a little bit of something,
Yeah.
and actually make it a performance that you can say, you know what, that's something to build upon, and
Definitely.
see how far we can take it from there.
Yeah. I mean, I think personally, I think like the way we're playing at the moment. I mean, and obviously with Saturday, going right into penalties and extra time and stuff like that, that could like have a big factor. Yeah, the one thing I would say probably be a big factor of the game though is, mind you, I think we both need it really. I think it should be a cracking game because we need to keep up the scoring points and keep in that position we've got, and you guys need to be trying. Well, you've got no choice, have you? You want to be higher up in the table at the end by this, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but what's your injury news or anything like that? Or what you think? How you think you'll play?
Um, I think, well, I've got a predicted lineup. What some people think the team's going to look like, and it's got a back three with Maguire, Lindelof, and De Ligt in it. Garte is in the midfield next to Fernandes, and you've got Højlund and Xerxes with Garnacho in attacking positions. So off the back of that, I know that there's talk about Diallo coming back into the team sometime fairly soon, actually, because he's ahead of schedule in his recovery. So that'll be good to have him back in the team before the season's out. Aiden Heaven, I think he's back to training because I think his injury wasn't actually as severe as it looks like, because he got stretchered off in the game against Leicester, but very quickly he was out of his protective boot, no crutches needed at all.
Oh, that's not too bad, is it?
And yeah, I think he's back to action with that. Luke Shaw's apparently back as well. Mason Mount is up to fitness, so he might be in the matchday squad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's the players definitely on the way back. We're still not quite there yet, but I'm relatively happy to see that people are close to making their returns, and that we can have a little bit of options to choose from. Although the options aren't all that great, but still options, and you'll still take you still count your blessings, I'd say.
Dan says, is this a preview or a review? If I put fucking review again, I'll have to review. Yeah, we've seen into the future. We won 3-0.
Oh, really? I'd seen into the future. We won like 8-0 or something. It was a wacky game, I tell you. The 6 red cards in the game, 3 for either side. Apparently, it was like 5 punch-ups. There was a Royal Rumble in the middle of the game as well. It was crazy. John Cena was the guest of honor.
The Undertaker came out at half time. All the floodlights went off. Oh man. Well, I mean, look, it don't matter when I started doing this, I still make the same mistakes. I didn't send Fuzz the link. I just sent him a picture. It's just like, yeah, see about live, which I've done on like many before. Jez, like, don't know where Jez is. Said he'd be here about 5 o'clock. I didn't even sent him the fucking link, man. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, from what I've heard, from what I'm hearing, Woods is like more serious than we thought, which would probably put a bit of a smile on your face because I do think we don't play as well without. Well, looking at Saturday, I thought it was a little bit disjointed without having Wood there. You know, that sounds good, doesn't it? Having Wood there. But the thing is like also Morgan Gibbs White ran into the goalpost as well against Brighton, so he's kind of like touch and go. I think probably Morgan Gibbs White will be there. A 1 year, mind you, a 1 year does actually like scoring against you guys. I've just remembered.
Yeah.
So
Well, I suppose the best thing is that we haven't got Rashford in the club to try and play centre back and let him just freely run past him like he isn't even there. So there's always that as a positive.
well, yeah, exactly, yeah. But I think the way we'll line up will probably be pretty much. Nuno don't really change a great deal, to be quite honest with you. I think he'll probably go Williams, and then he'll go Ola Aina as well. And then, Milenkovic and Murillo. I've not heard anything about any knocks in that respect. I think he'll pretty much keep it the same, apart from Malanga and Callum Hudson-Odoi will probably likely start. And then you'll have a 1 year in the centre. You'll have Anderson. If Morgan Gibbs White's fit, he'll be there. And probably Dominguez will be there as well. So, I mean, yeah, I think it will pretty much be the same thing. It could be Yates instead, maybe. I don't know. But I haven't seen like the team sheet at the minute. I think whoever gets it we're just massively confident at the minute. I think that's the thing with Forest at the moment. Anthony says, big up lads, yeah, he don't piss off Buzzy. He's wearing his Bruce Willis shirt full die hard.
I thought this was the Forrest Gump shirt. Fuzzy Gump.
And Gurney says, good afternoon, long-haired Yeti, Fuzzy, and all in the chat and watching. I hope the sun was shining in your part of the UK. Glorious down here in London. It is nice, actually, but when you're doing this, you've got to have the curtains shut. Oh, and I got my very, very first super chat. Thank you very much for that, Dal. Absolutely appreciate that, mate. Congrats, bro, on over 500 subs. Yeah, thanks to all you guys as well.
Yeah.
You guys have made it possible. So,
yeah, I didn't realise that. Well, congratulations on.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks. I ate it the other day, which was fucking absolutely awesome. So yeah, awesome, all good stuff. And like I say, with Forest this season, I mean, we're doing amazing. I mean, what do you think to the fact that you're there and we're where we are? It's mad.
No, it's like roles reversed. But no, in all honesty, it's you look at the positions, you look at the contrast in the club situations, and it's like they paint their own pictures. The club that's in disarray is in absolute calamitous positions and is pinning all its hopes on European glory to actually get itself into qualifications for another competition to increase its income. The other club has basically put the mantra in the sport as to say that it doesn't take a process to really put yourself right up the table. Like this is what happens when you run a club right.
Correct.
You go from because you don't need to go. Oh well, we'll build a little bit this year, then we'll build just a little bit the next, and then the next, and then the next.
Process.
None of the like first step, two steps, or phase one, phase two. Just run the club right. Get a good choice of manager. Back that manager properly. Give him some patience and some time. And if your ownership and boardroom structure are all cohesive as a unit with the playing staff. You jump the queue. You go straight up in cat amongst the pigeons, and you actually reap the rewards for it. And you know semi-finals of the FA FA Cup, not Carabao Cup. That's already done and dusted. But that's a potential trophy, and continuing on your trajectory, a top four finish.
Yeah.
Hey, didn't Arsenal fans for like 20 years say that was, that's great. That's great for Arsenal. Get an FA Cup and
Yeah,
fourth
yeah,
place. It's a
yeah.
fantastic finish. Well, no, that's Nottingham Forest doing that. So
Mm.
they've come from a place where everyone thinks, well, Nottingham Forest not really going to do anything all that special to. Well, you can't really help but actually pay attention to them now.
Mm.
They're there. They're in your line of sight, and because of the way the club is run, I don't necessarily think they're going to be a club to slip away so soon.
No, I don't. I
They'll stay there. They'll stay
don't.
there. And they'll continue to be a thorn on everyone's side. So
Yeah, absolutely. To cover this chat, big up Endinguna. Oh wow, congrats on surpassing 500 subs. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it, man.
I'll probably have to spaz my way to 500 subs if I want that.
Fucking spazzing. That's got to be a short, isn't it? Fuzzy McLean. And big up down my hair. Hope you're well. He'll get the beers in. I'll get the beers in. Yeah, and doing great. You're going to be able to visit me and fam on 15th in London. And yes, Fuzzy Gump. My mum said, "Life like Man United, one slip of the finger, you're in the shit." I think. Interesting comments, but. I think one thing is, I do think that you will get it sorted out. I mean, you're in no trouble of relegation, are you? Because the other teams are
No.
just absolutely awful. So
Yeah.
I still need. Have you got play Southampton?
No. So we've played them twice. We've played Leicester twice, and
Yeah,
Ipswich. I think we've played twice. So I think the bottom three we've played twice over. I think it's Wolves that
right,
we've yet to play at home. I think I
right.
might
Okay.
have that wrong because I think we played them away this season. But
Oh
yeah,
well. I need Southampton to win one. I need them to win one game, just one game to get 12 points. But I've just actually been G'd up a bit because I've noticed they've got to play Spurs at their place. So that should be the Southampton win that I need.
mm,
Big up Gary, all right, mate. He's another Man United fan, Gary is. 5-0 to us. You guys are getting too good. No mercy now. Yeah, man. Yeah. $15, that'd be great. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think what it was Nuno came in and basically sort of he noticed that because the problem last season was concentration. We weren't
mm,
concentrating when it came to the defence and stuff like that. I think he's nailed that with Milenkovic, who's possibly one of the big signings, that we've made, basically.
mm,
I think he's absolutely awesome. He fits just perfect with Murillo. Murillo's still quality as well. He's still in there with the clearances and things like that. And I think
mm,
that's what he got sorted out. And then sort of playing the game to Wood's style as well was
yeah,
another thing that was absolutely massive. Another thing I would put into that as well, I think we did something that I would advise every other club to do. Pick up the players that ain't getting played for their teams. The
mm,
ones that's frustrated, knowing that they've got something to show. Alanga, for instance, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Pick
mm,
those players up, because let's face it, we picked them both up for about 20 mil for both of them. And they've been
mm,
absolute superstars.
mm. Yeah, I think it's making well on what opportunities you have in the market, and I
Yeah.
know that you'll get people who make that quite a sickly term, like your Mikel Artetas, will say, "Oh, the opportunity in the market." Well, no, there's genuinely clubs that will seize opportunities, and Arsenal's not really a club that seizes opportunity. They
Yeah,
just go
yeah.
and they make opportunity, and that's the thing, is that Forest are sort of in that phase where they're trying to go from a club that just needs to get players that are looking for that out, and then
Yeah.
they can snatch them up, pop them into a system and build the team into, something, progress the team into something much better. But you're eventually going to get to a point, if you stay on top of it, you'll get to a point where your club can start going to these players under, big contracts and just saying, buy some subs like Tom. Go for it. Go. Yeah. I'll have to study the markets. And
well, what? So he's got. So he'd have to spend all that money on subs. So you're going to give him a £1 super chat. I'm quite sure that adds up, mate.
Yeah. See if someone can do me about.
You're £200 down, but here's £1. Well done.
Return investment. That's what happens when you read a money book or a business book written by Ed Woodward. You tend to lose out and feel like somebody's come off of a gambling addiction from Las Vegas. But yeah, sorry, hun, you're gonna have to pack the bags. I've lost the place. Yeah, I think with Forest's case, you're soon going to get to a point, if you do stay up at the top end of the table, where you can go into markets with quite big budgets, bonus funds that you can get from qualifying.
That's where we've got to keep getting it right.
Is you spend well in the summer to sort of you've got a strong unit there, and just add little pieces to it. Once you get that bonus cash, then you expand on that business. You start getting a bit more adventurous with it. And I think with Forest, they're very close to being able to do that. And I think it'll be interesting to see what the summer plan is if you do have that Champions League football. And not just that, but with an FA Cup as well, because you can then boast to to players, agents, and say, well, actually, if you're looking for a winning project, technically we are a winning project because we've just won a trophy in the season just gone. So if you want to continue to contribute to that sort of a legacy, then we believe we're the right club for you. We've got the right position. We think we've got good quality players for your client to play with. So come to us. And
I think also we've got like a real sort of like togetherness, like a real sort of like family kind of thing going on at the minute at the City Ground. And we've also got players like, Murillo and a lot of players that we've brought in from like other countries and things, and they've got their opportunities and they're actually doing well and everything like that. So, I think that is a big pull because, I've heard names like Cunha. We're going to break the transfer fee to bring him in. I've also heard Gyökeres 75 million. Can't see that in a million years, to be honest with you. I'm not. That would show massive, like, we're serious. But Gary says, I would stick to cheapish players if I were Forest. Look how crap our 300k. Yeah, and I agree with that as well. And that's what I was saying with like, when we start like making big money signings and stuff like that, that's when it can all start to crumble because you have to give them too much wages and things like that. Whereas at the minute, I think we've got quite a good wage structure. I don't know, you'd have to ask Jez because Jez seems to always know everyone's finances. I think there's something fucking dodgy about Jez, He does know, doesn't he? Oh, I know Man United's finances and all this, that and the other. I think he's a bit of a dodgy man. I think he gives like information, he gets it on the internet and he gives information to these big gangsters and all. I go on, banks closed at 7 o'clock and all that kind of stuff. Bloody hell, cheer up, Fuzz said, get that. Just Meldu.
Is he actually stuck in the garden with his head poking through the
Oh my days. It's brilliant, isn't it, that? I don't believe it. If I were. Hello, lads. Just jumped to Fuzzy channel. Fuck me, there's no one here. I'm all alone. Jokes, Fuzzy. Well, you're used to being alone anyway, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm a bit
probably not got lube and tissues at the minute.
Nah.
You might have, actually. I don't know.
Nah, not at the moment. I've run out of stock.
No, I mean Anthony, not you. I don't mean you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, everybody drop over to Fuzz's channel and add him a view as well. Absolutely, everybody. And big up Jez Maldrew, you old bastard. But yeah, I mean, there's talk also of like Tammy Abraham as well, about 35 million. So we're in that crazy time, aren't we, basically, where the season's sort of drawing to a close. Everybody's going on about this, that, and the other. You know, you're going to sign this guy, we're going to sign this guy. If you want my honest opinion, I'd prefer us to do exactly what Gary's just said. Just keep picking up these players for next to nothing and like turning them into something. Not saying they're not something anyway, but just giving them their chances and stuff like that. Next, we'll steal Phil Foden or something like that. Mind you, that'd be an expensive one, wouldn't it? So we'll get
Yeah,
Saka. We'll get Saka. He can play for a proper manager.
well, I think the funny thing with Phil Foden is I don't know about Phil, to be honest, because he's starting to sort of lose an
He is,
edge,
isn't
it
he?
feels
Yeah,
like, and I
yeah.
think the hype has sort of worn off a little bit.
Mm.
So yeah, the funny thing is that depends on which clubs will be interested in a player like Phil Foden. I know that maybe a lot of people would
It'd be
still be
expensive
interested.
though, won't he? It
Oh yeah,
will be expensive. I think.
they'll inflate that price. You know,
Yeah.
like
I
Mission
don't
Map.
think they'd sell him, to be quite honest. But I mean, yeah, I mean, like Gary says, Foden is getting a bit pants. He's probably all the hype and all that kind of stuff. I mean, when I watch him in the game, I mean, he does make some very clever, like little through ball passes and things like that. He just gets the execution wrong, which he didn't used to really. When he sort of works a bit more of as an attacking force and comes in off the left hand side and tries to get a shot, a bit like Saka, I suppose. I think he looks like a lot better personally, but he would be expensive. Regardless, he'd be expensive because he's England international and all that, isn't he? So
Yeah,
he's good. I wouldn't even be that bothered about someone like him anyway. At the end of the day, I'd want somebody. They've got to fit a certain persona for me. They've got to be hardworking. They've got to earn the shirt. You don't get it. I mean, if you don't earn the shirt, you don't get in it, and that's it. Simple as that.
yeah.
Yeah, Fuzzy Willis. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers.
I mean, the hair's not too far away.
This isn't, is it, actually? No,
it's getting to be that way.
You're awesome, man. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. That's an awesome film line as well, isn't it? Fuzzy, I'm in your chat. I just seen a tumbleweed.
Go catch it. Keep you company.
Yeah.
God, it's like living in Death Valley. My chat.
And make sure the tumbleweed's sending comments in as well.
The tumbleweed is one of my subs.
Oh, mate. So, I mean, like, your what's happening next season? I mean, is there anything been going on about any rumours or anything like that?
Well, I mean, with transfers, we are again pretty much being linked to every name under the sun. But I think for a lot of people that have sort of quite tuned in with what the ownership is doing, are looking at the not just with this summer, but then the next several summers or the next several seasons, and just sort of feeling like the board don't necessarily look at this summer as we must get this team back to winning ways and we must do it now. They don't really give off that sort of essence. It's sort of like we'll just sign players who are, cheap on the market, have got a good bit of potential to them, a room to grow, and we've got a manager who can develop those younger talents. And then what we'll do with that is then, and I suppose one of the things that gets pointed out with being linked to these players is that they're talking about market values, or when they've been at the club for, say, 3 or 4 years, they're talking about market valuation. And that to me just says, well, you don't really think about market valuation for a target that you want to sign with good potential if the plan isn't to then sell them and try and make profits and bring in lots of money. rather than actually bringing players with potential and actually, blending them into the team to build something that is competitive and capable of winning trophies. So I think the fan base might look at it and say, "Oh yeah, we're going to get loads of players that could be really something special," but then the ball will just all of a sudden one summer, "Oh yeah, we've got this club coming in for this player, sold, we bought him for 5 million, sold him for 40, fantastic profits, and we'll just sign the next player to replace him for about 6 million." And
Yeah.
ultimately, that's not really the makeup of what Manchester United has been for so long. And people are starting to change the tune with that by saying, "Yeah, but we're not the Man United of old. We're the Man United of now. We've got to accept this." And I feel like, but that's why clubs just disappear from elite status, and then they don't ever come back. It's because everyone just gets complacent with it and just accepts it and says,
Yeah, it's
"That's
absolutely
it,
spot on.
guys.
Spot
That's
on.
it,
That's
guys."
what I said. That's what I've been saying for a while now. I said to them, if you keep being complacent, because the old sort of top lot are just getting, well, probably apart from Chelsea, because I mean they signed everybody, God knows, to man, didn't they? But I mean, it's like if you keep getting complacent, and the other teams that come up are gonna take over if you're not careful. And the
Mm.
thing is, like with Forest, I mean, I'll just cover this chat. Up for meeting together after a game down for port for some old-fashioned fisticuff. Fucking fisticuff. You get on with your game, mate. We need that game to come out sometime in the next 30 years. Gyökeres wants Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, I can't see us doing that, to be honest.
Apparently, everybody wants Arsenal, though.
Well,
I
this
suppose you
is
could ask
true.
a
Yeah,
question about
yeah.
what the targets are going to look like for them now they've got Andre and
Mm.
Berta.
But he's actually come out and said, apparently, according to Fabrizio, and it's a fucking Fabrizio then, Fabrizio Romano, yeah, Arteta's actually come out and said that we need depth, and it's now time that we had depth. And I'm like, and you're supposed to be the best young manager on this planet right now, and you've only just worked out what we worked out 5 years ago.
Well, I think he's just been told by by Andreas. First conversation with him was like, right, stop
Probably meant
bullshitting to
he
the media.
needs depth, as in tactical depth. That's fucking knowing what he's doing.
You need depth. That's I'm going to give you an 800 page document. This one's not
Mm,
about transfer targets. This one's about how
yeah.
to fucking line up a team. Now go study that shit.
Would you? I mean, look, if you was an owner, right? We're not just going to go on about Arsenal, but we generally talked about that now. But would you give him another penny? Because it's all right him saying that we need to get loads of players in, but 750 million and you've got no depth. I'd sack you for saying that. I just think he takes the piss, honestly. Let me just cover these chats, mate. He's just playing hard to get. Little tease. And Nick Ada says, yeah, he hired Jez went to the Emirates, not a match day, but got in a fight. Yeah, I heard the same. They nicked his wig. That's why he's bald now. You need to calm him down. He was stabbed before. I don't know. He never told me anything like that. It's only a game, not worth
Yeah,
dying over.
I think
Nothing's
it's
worth dying over.
provocative comments from Nick Hader.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, a little
It's
bit
yeah.
provocative, matey. I don't know what your game is, but ask Fuzzy if he would sell Bruno. Bruno.
Now, the funny thing is, right, is we could probably say Bruno, without Bruno, we'd be relegated by now. But I still
Mm,
would. I still would. I think for a player like Bruno, he might be the stat padding merchant at the club, and might
yeah.
just single handedly be carrying. But it's like the similar sort of effect to what Cristiano had, right? Carries all that star power, gets all the goals and assists, and he's the superstar, he's the hero of the team. But
Mm,
you take that element out, and people think, "Oh my God, they're going to suffer." Well, actually, no, because everyone else can step up and actually increase their level, and it's not just going through one player, not going through just one channel. And I feel like with Bruno, he
mm,
does at times, because the game is so central around him,
Yeah.
it does start to hamper other elements of the squad and other elements of the team. Like it's either Bruno or nothing, and that's not good for a team to have. You need
No.
to have like several players there that they can step up and properly carry the team through if the situation gets tough in a game. And with Bruno, it sort of gets to a point. Too much of it, it starts to cause you more problems than it causes you solutions.
Yeah.
Kind of
I've,
how
I've
Wilson.
actually, uh, I've actually banned Nick by accident. That was supposed to be a time. It was supposed to be a timeout. That was not a ban. This is why I need the other guys here to sort of do things like this, because it weren't supposed to be a ban. It was supposed to be a timeout, because I don't know what like goes on with Jez and all that lot, but it's more for Jez's channel, not mine. You know, if you want to sort of discuss things with him, he's not told me anything or anything like in those kind of ways, so I don't really want to be going on about it. And here's Pete Haywood. Yeah, you can do one and all, mate. Right, and Bax, yeah, who the fuck is Febreze? It's that thing that you spray for your dog when your dog smells or something. I don't know. Sacking now says Oregon Goon. Ban Ammerfell. Yeah, 100%. See you, Nick, and tell him Pete. I just don't know what he's talking about, and I certainly don't know what Pete Haywood's talking about. But I don't think Pete Haywood knows what he's talking about either. So
I like the fact that Pete Hayward says one comment, does like, yeah, Pete, you tell him, and then he goes on and says another comment, yeah, no, never mind. Just send that.
it's funny how one goes and then the other comes in it. But Jez said the other day that Nick was actually all right.
I don't know.
I'm not having that. I mean, Jez has never told me any sort of stories about getting stabbed or anything like that. I know he's had a brick in the face, and I don't know what he's taught. You know, football's not worth dying over. Nothing's worth dying over, to be fair.
Nah. I don't think there's any productiveness in the comment. It's just to sort of stir some shit up.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and I'm not having that.
Pay no mind at all to it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I like to say it just says on here, put user in timeout. I thought it was like, 10 minutes or whatever. I didn't realise it was gone, but anyway, whatever.
The timeout is equivalent to the coffin.
Yeah. I'm modding Fuzzy's channel at the moment. Hard work this is. I'm sweating like a fucker in here. You're not used to hard work, are you, mate?
I could throw a load of Thai lady boys in. That will make you sweat. I was like, no.
Leave him sat in there on his fucking combine harvester listening to the fucking Wurzels. Jez never got stabbed. Yeah, that's what I mean. Jez has told me like stories and stuff like that, which is said on stream as well, but he's never mentioned anything like that. So, and that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. We're talking about a game. Well, actually, we talk about whatever's comes up basically, but we're not talking about sort of things like that. So there's not really any point sort of being here talking stupid like that. You can have them, Fuzzy, says Anthony Herbert. But yeah, I mean, what's this talk about a new stadium? That you need to fucking build a team that actually competes first.
Well, yeah, it sort of feels that way. That it probably does scream a lot more commercial focus as the future rather than football, like sporting acumen. Because usually you build the team first. That you sort of then put that team into this grand stadium, because then it's like it has more hype about it. Everyone's really, really excited. But it's just the way in which they've gone about it. The only positive that we can say about this new stadium at the moment is, the pictures look nice. So it's meant to cost several billion. The money's meant to come from the government. and it's borrowed money yet again, which is kind of that just adds to debt that already exists. And the team is not successful at the moment. It's not really. It doesn't look like it's going to go on to anything. It's not going to build any positive legacy. And it's like you're gonna leave Old Trafford with a whimper, and then go into a new stadium where, if it gets built to accurately to what the images show, you're going to move from a place of legendary status that got left to rot and fall to pieces by the Glazers, which, by the way, is the reason why essentially we've had to move to a new stadium, because refurbishing the place would almost cost the same amount of money as it would do to build a new stadium.
Have you sold it to Waterworld?
Well, I know that I think it's Zoo Marine from Portugal, that they've inquired about it, but then
the water's already there, isn't it? So I mean,
they've just got to find a way to transport the exotic fish. We might as well stick sharks in there, or what's it, cuttlefish? Probably might stick cuttlefish in there.
Yeah, some things like that.
Deep dark at Old Trafford, but. Yeah,
well, you could stick sharks in there. It wouldn't be the first time you've had sharks at Old Trafford, would
it? No, but yeah.
Just cover these chats, matey. For AK4P, big up to you, bro. See you at the semis. Absolutely, mate. Looking forward to it. Yeah, stadium is still only a plan, really. It's not even accepted yet. Could change. I just think it's when you sort of teams in a situation where you're not doing that well, and the only thing they can do is think of coming out and going, "We're going to build a new stadium, guys." It's like awesome. But the same amount of shit he's still going to be playing in it. So what the hell does that matter? And I believe you'll beat United. Come on, Forest. 4K. At 4K. I'm calling him 4K again. AK again. Hates the United 100%. Just marketing and fuzzy. There's an echo in here. It's like a tunnel. That's blasphemy, says Gary, and it's mad Ineos sponsors Spurs. Yeah, I just think it's a bit weird to turn around and say. I mean, I know we sort of announced while we was in the Championship, I think it was, that we was going to sort of build onto the stadium. I mean, I think it's been made a proper plan. Nah, still not happening. It's taking its time, but at least we kept our ground. And are you actually keeping the ground, or are you moving somewhere else?
The plan would be to stay in Old Trafford whilst it's being built to maximise on the commercial revenue with a high capacity stadium, because if you sort of move somewhere else, no one else really has got as high capacity, so you don't make as much from match going fans. But yeah, I think as Guro's said there, it's that if it's not been accepted yet, and that a shovel hasn't been stuck into the ground, again, there's another potentially false promise by an ownership that says, "Oh, well, we'll go to this new stadium. It'll be lovely. It'll be fantastic, and everything will be sunshine and rainbows." Well, it's about that new stadium. I know it looks a bit like a clown tent. Go and join the circus. Go from an aquarium to a circus. That's one transition that you don't expect in footballable places, but. Maybe that stadium's not going to look like how it looks in the pictures. Maybe we'll have to under-deliver. We've oversold this promise as to what this stadium should look like, because everyone's going, "Ooh, look at this," but then you'll probably get.
Are they actually saying that when they look at it? Are they actually saying, "Ooh,
Probably not as much that reaction, but there's been some people that actually look at it and go, "To be fair, that." If it does actually get built like that, that would actually be quite an impressive feat to do. But the problem is that there's no guarantees that that's actually going to be the case. So it's like they're almost teetering on the edge of completely selling themselves well over the mark and then under delivering. Well, they're already under delivering to its fan base in the case of Ineos. The fact that they're now going to piss the fans off even more because they wanted debt gone from the club oh, don't worry, guys, just going to load another several billions pound worth of debt onto the club, which are going to use the club accounts to pay that off, which means that there's going to be less to spend for summer transfer windows every single season. So about signing them Kylian Mbappe's and the next Lionel Messi's and stuff, that's going to have to, we're going to have to nip that in the bud real quick and start talking about how we're going to find the next damn.
Lay off that for a few weeks and then think about it after a few weeks' time.
It's every time there's a major negative that comes out in the world of Manchester United on the news front, look out for the positive news that gets released with it, because that's the way that the Glazonomics has worked with trying to appease fans. You'll probably get, this major negative, guys, but look on the bright side. We've managed to have a secret, highly classified conversation with Victor Gyökeres. He said yes to the club. He's coming to Manchester United. We haven't really even picked up the phone to him, have we? No, we haven't. But
so put some merch out. Gyökeres in.
You heard it first here from Fuzzy. We're signing Gyökeres. He said yes. Write it in the tabloid. I'll actually be impressed if the tabloids actually start reporting on that now.
Yeah. Just cover this. Gurra, Fuzzy, you can call me Gary. Gurra is from my Only Fools. Yeah, he's a troll. Yeah, he's from, that Only Fools when that guy comes over, the immigrant guy. Gary. So we've always called him that. Anthony, but question for you. I did read that inside your new stadium there's going to be a tiny beach in it, so you can build sandcastles on match days. It stops the fans walking out, apparently. Is this true?
Well, I know one thing that is we know that the image isn't realistic, and we know that some of the pictures are really, really fake, because if you look closely on the internal views of the stadium, you'll see that on the scoreboard it says Man United are winning the game 3-0.
Oh dear!
What world is Man United winning a game 3-0?
Yeah, that's going to be mega insane, isn't it? I wish I could buy a business with their own money like Glazers did with us. Yeah. Oh, we got another super chat. Big up, Jezza. Thanks a lot for that, man. Really, really appreciate it. £10. And congrats on monetization. You made it. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for all your help as well to get where I've got. And that goes for the rest of the community and the rest of the dwellers and stuff. We've had some prat in here today. One or two prats talking about you getting stabbed or something. So I've kind of got rid of them. Don't know what that was all about. And Ricky Howard, even just gave up on United. I swapped to Cities. I'm not going down this 10-year road it will take to come back. Big up to you, Ricky Howard.
To be fair, it might take 10 years to take us down a garden path. Not competitive. Hopefully, the fans actually pull the finger out and continue to ramp up pressure. I mean, we've already had one massive protest. We need to keep it going. And the fact is, we've got the FC United of Manchester, club founded by the fans that walked away from supporting the club in 2005 from the Glazer takeover. They're using the platform of having an actual football club actually go against the ownership of another football club in the same footballing ladder. So, that's... that says something.
It's honestly absolutely insane, isn't it? Really, when you look at it. The thing is for us, because we'll talk a little bit about us. It's not all about Man United. The thing is about us is we've got to. The main thing is what we do next season. This season, brilliant. If we're getting Champions League spot. And if we won an FA Cup, it'd be amazing. But there's a lot of teams that's going to have a say in that. But one not Arsenal, sorry, but it's not, or Man United for that matter. So, look, the thing is, we've got to continue doing it next season. If we don't continue doing it next season, then it's still not for nothing. But, to me, we've got to kind of build. And I've had comments like, oh, it's really draining in the Champions League as well. Look at Newcastle, look at Aston Villa. So I turned around and I said, well, Arsenal's not got much depth in their squad, and they've managed to stay second and stay into the chat in the Champions League until next Wednesday. So I mean, it's like, why can't we do that? I mean, we'll have to strengthen massively, but it just is what it is. Ricky Howard says more chance of United getting relegated. And chat's going a little bit crazy now. I'm all alone here, jumping for fuck's sake, thinking I'm still on his lonesome. And Jazza and now United chance of getting relegated is less than 2%. I do stats for a living. Maybe next year though, who knows? I mean, what's the points now? There's no way that you're going to get relegated, is there? Let's face it.
No.
Not really how bad the teams are at the bottom. I mean, Southampton's only got 9 points.
Yeah, I'm
You've
pretty
got
sure
what?
like
37 there.
Yeah, so I think with the current relegation zone, so the teams down there pretty much have to almost double their total league's points tally to overtake us. So
yeah,
it's not really going to happen with less than 10 games to go now.
So what is your thinking then tonight? What you going for? What scoreline you going for?
I think we've sort of resorted to. I think we've sort of resorted a little more to a game plan of sit deep, park the bus, hit on the counter. So I think if Hoylands is finding a bit of goal scoring form, then I think he's probably doing it at the right time, because you're a really tough run of games. You've got yourselves tonight. I think you've got Manchester City up next. We've got Lyon in the Europa League, which the last time around they battered their opponents in the last round. Newcastle sandwiched in between the two Europa League legs. So it's a tough run of fixtures. So if we've got players coming back into form, now's the time to sort of like prove it.
Yeah.
Start finding your mark. So I think with tonight, I don't necessarily think we'll have enough to travel away from home to get a win, but I can see probably a draw, maybe. I'll probably go with something like a 2-2 draw.
Yeah. It's kind of that's kind of my thinking, because normally I would say that you're going to go for it, obviously, because of the position you're in, and you want to get higher up the table, obviously. And we've got to go for it because we want to keep our top 4 position, and we also want to chase up Arsenal as well, who are playing later on against Fulham. So we're obviously going to go for it as well, and I think that's where it's going to be a really good clash between us. I don't think we may just sort of like wait for you to come at us and then try and hit you on the break like we have been quite a bit. I'm expecting quite a good game. Mind you, I said that about Saturday, and that was awful, but no point listening to me in that respect. Let's just have a quick look at this chat before we wrap up. And Forest may well be tired after Saturday evening's FA Cup match that went to extra time and penalties. United have not played for over 9 days or so. That is an absolute quality addition. That is awesome. I mean, that's another point, mate. That's another total point. Just sat in the garden getting a tan on those matchsticks. I would accept a draw against Forest at their place, curbing my expectations now. To be honest, I want to win 100% because of where we are. But, a draw will still keep us out of bounds as well, I believe, from the next game. So I've got a funny feeling it'd probably be about 1-1 or, like you said, 2-2, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think it'd be a whitewash or anything like that. I don't see that, because there's no Woods, as far as I know, anyway, up till now. And also, there could be no Morgan Gibbs White. Although I think Morgan Gibbs White will play. It just depends how hard he hit that fucking post, I suppose.
Yeah, I think your predicted lineup does feature Gibbs White, so I think they're reckoning that he should be fit enough to be in the matchday squad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Dominguez, Anderson, Alanga, Gibbs, White, Hudson, Doy, and Awani up top. It's your midfield into attack. So I'd imagine with that sort of a team, um, the biggest threat I still think with United is the cutback. The cutback pass from the wing into the late midfield runners. So I think
Yeah.
Morgan Gibbs White, if he does play, is probably a key danger man. I don't think necessarily the striker, but then again, depends on how good the hold up play from the one he is, and if he can sort of allow for enough time for his wingers to make the runs in behind. Because even with a back five, it's still quite easy to get at. But
yeah.
yeah.
I'm quite worried about if like Diallo manages to get on. Right, still some things going on about this being attacked with a knife, Jez. What is going on? Just clear it up, man, because everyone keeps going on about it. I've not heard anything about it or anything like that. Did they go to prison? I hope so. Unless you mean like from like back in the day. If it was like that one from back in the day, then I get it. Fuzzy is a mad back. Apparently, he could be, couldn't he? He could be.
Not for this game, but he is. I think the progression, because they were worried that he wouldn't be able to get back before the end of the season. The tune changed not too long ago, where they're like, actually, he can be back and play like the last 1 or 2 games, but they're thinking that could even extend further, so that he's got like even more games to play. It's just how soon that return date is, but yeah, I think there is definitely optimism that he should be back before schedule.
He's a worry. I mean, I do rate him a lot. I rated him a lot when he was when he was on loan at Sunderland, I think it was, and you know, he is a player that I do rate quite highly. I think also, as well as like Gibbs White being a danger, I think you've definitely got to look at Alanga, and I think you've definitely got to look at Anderson as well. I think Anderson's just getting better and better as the season goes on, and he'll take a run at you and have a shot as well. So. But anyway, mate. So yeah, we're thinking sort of like a draw. Both of us are sort of on the same page with a draw. I want to win. I'm not going to lie. I want to actually. Well, I mean, look, if it went the same way as what it did last time, and we went 2-0 up, I still ain't going to come into your stream and go, we're going to score one more, because last time it just went complete tits up. So, you know, yeah,
it's at your ground, so I wouldn't necessarily think there would be much of a momentum swing if you were to be 2-0 up. I think if you end up 2-0 up at your home ground, I think you might as well call it curtains there, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, what you got coming up anyway, mate? It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, likewise. I mean, it's I think, of course, after the match, the reaction to that. To proceedings. Hopefully, it's one that we can actually talk about a win, but can never take anything for granted nowadays with this club. And then, of course, with the talk still going on with transfers and talks with the ownership, I think it's just scoping out what the discussion is at the moment, because there's so many different conversations or talking points being thrown all over the place, and a lot of people divided on a lot of things, and yeah, I think there's definitely things in that regards that we can have a chat about, which may come in the next couple of days or so. Don't know about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll assume that we'll be back for that show tomorrow night, and hopefully with top, because we didn't have the Sunday night takeaway show. I don't know if that's just because it was Mother's Day Sunday, but yeah, we'll have to see.
Tom is a mother, isn't he? So you can understand that.
The motherfucker.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Big up Tom, by the way. Yeah, so Opfuzz 44, make sure you sub to Opfuzz. I know we're like sharing the channel anyway, but it's on Twitter, and it's fucking Twitter. It's on Twitch. And obviously people that watch it back and stuff like that. So Make sure you're following Opfuzz44. Follow him everywhere he goes. If he goes to the shops or anything like that, just keep following him and like get close to him as he's walking along and just go
observing in its natural habitat.
start doing really heavy breathing into his ear hole. He loves it. He loves it. Right. Anyway, cheers for that, mate. Really appreciate it. Sorry, mate, but it's Forest all the way today. But I'm hoping we win, mate. To be honest with you, I'm hoping you. I'll say the same to you as what everybody said to us when we first came into the league. I really want you to stay up, but I hope you don't beat us. So I'm going to say exactly the same thing to you guys, mate. So there you go. So yeah, thanks from me. Thanks from Fuzzy. And yeah, keep it real, keep it Yeti. And we are out of here. Tatty fucking bye. See you later, guys.
Ciao.
Tatty fucking bye.